All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have 3 days left in August. So if you're pushing for Team Cup, if you're pushing to help people, like go balls to the wall, like there's 3 days left. If you have to stay up or get up early, we're up at 5:30 Eastern Central Time. If you want to join us for the power hour that we're doing every morning, go for it, right? You have nothing to lose. So some announcements coming up. We have the Week of Hard Labor with Sagi. So it's kind of like Sean Week, but with Sagi. That's starting September 5th. So a great way to get people to try Beachbody on demand. And Carl is giving $1 for everybody that does the workout, up to $100,000 for the hurricane relief in Texas. So that's pretty awesome of Carl. The diamond pool for the fourth quarter is underway. So if you missed last quarter, you can still get $250 for this coming quarter if you are a diamond coach. Clean Week, that's coming up in October. So that is with the new Beachbody trainer. And it's going to be a free 7-day kind of like clean eating plus 7 different workouts that are before the firewall of putting your credit card in. So people don't have to put their credit card in for a clean week, which I think is awesome, because I think usually sometimes people like hesitate with that. So make sure like that's on your schedule, that you're planning that to do some sort of free group for October. And I'm just going to kind of introduce Bailey. She's going to be doing the team call tonight. And I think Bailey is our one and only coach from Montana. Yes, Bailey is an Emerald coach, and she joined Alicia, I don't know what, a year ago? I might be kind of wrong with that.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I joined her like 4 months ago.
Oh, sweet. And she's doing a team call, so she's like rocking it. Bailey, I'm going to shoot it on over to you, and she's going to be talking about tracking and keeping a good follow-up list so you don't lose people.
All right. Thanks so much, Rose. I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight. Like Rose said, I am one of Alicia's Emerald coaches. I'm pretty new to all this. I joined Alicia with one of her challenge groups. It was either May or June. I honestly don't remember now. And I just started coaching in July. Since then, I have been trying like anything and everything I have found to keep track of my people and my contacts. So that is what I wanted to share with you tonight. I guess first of all, I want to kind of tell you how I got started coaching and why, because I think that's just a big thing when you're talking to people. You need to be relatable and you need to connect with them, right? So you can't do that unless they know who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. Like I said, I joined Alicia's challenge group it was May, and that was the first, my first challenge group. I joined as a discount coach, and I kind of had the idea in the back of my mind that I would start coaching. In my mind, it was someday. Of course, Alicia had bigger and better plans for me and got me going a lot sooner than I thought I would be. And I'm thankful for that. So I guess the whole reason I got started was after having my first daughter, Madison. I wasn't active when I was pregnant, and I got very out of shape. I didn't gain a whole, like I had about 15 pounds extra weight that I was carrying around from before I was pregnant. And it wasn't a huge difference in weight, but my body was like completely changed. I've always been fairly muscular and strong. And after a year of not working out and then another 4 months of just chasing my baby around and continuing to not work out and eating poorly, I was in terrible, terrible shape. I just felt huge and not myself. So I had been tossing the idea of, going to the gym or joining Alicia's group around, and I actually decided to go to the gym first. In January, I started going to the gym in town. And the gym here is like super awesome. It's actually ran by a Beachbody coach. She runs her groups and everything through her gym. It's a very awesome gym. It's super positive, and they've got great workouts. But with my daughter and work and everything, it wasn't working to make it there. I just, after working all day, I wanted to be home. I wanted to, be enjoying this short, precious moments when she's a baby, because they go by so fast, right? So I didn't make it. I had, paid for this gym membership, and I hardly utilized it at all because I didn't want to be at the gym after work. I wanted to be home. So after all that, I was still out of shape, not feeling like myself and overweight, not very positive. So I finally said, okay, let's do this. Let's join Alicia's group. And even though I had just paid for my gym membership, I joined her group. And I haven't really looked back since. It's been super awesome. I love that I can set my own schedule. I don't have to go to the gym when their classes are. I can do my workouts whenever I want. If that means it's at 4:30 in the morning, it's done. If it's at 5:30 after work, that works too. It's just whatever works for me and my family. And that is like the best thing about this is you're in charge of your schedule and how you do everything. And that's really like the whole reason I've been just so kind of passionate about becoming a coach, is because I think this really works for a lot of people that, you know, aren't able to make it to the gym for one reason or another, whether it's that they live in a rural area and they just don't even have access to a gym, or they have, kids, babies, and they don't want to leave them or can't leave them. Maybe they don't have daycare. So there are so many people out there um, who really need this to be happy and feel like themselves. And I really wanted to help those people because I can relate to how they feel. And that's a big reason of why I started coaching. On top of that, I wanted to set a good example for my daughter, Madison. Of course, she's only 1 right now, but I didn't want to be that mom who was out there, talking down about herself, having negative self-talk, and just being unhappy. Because if that's how you are and your kids are around that growing up, it's gonna really have an impact on how they feel about themselves in the future. And I do not want Madison being that, 4th grade girl out on the playground feeling like she isn't good enough, or she is, like she needs to lose weight or anything for people to like her. That's not how I want her to feel at all. So that's also a huge reason why I started doing this. So that's a little bit about how I got started and why I am coaching and loving it. My favorite programs so far are PiYo, and I enjoy the 21 Day Fix, and I shift shop also. But yoga has always been a big thing for me, so I really enjoy PiYo. But now that you know that, I'll get to the point of our call, how to track all the people that you're connecting with every single day. Because as a new coach, and I know because I just started in July, so it is super, super important. Like, I can't tell you how important it is to make sure that you are reaching out to, all those new people on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. Those are really the only 2 I use. I know there's other things out there, but I'm not familiar with them. So it's just super important to track all those people you're connecting with and helping, because you're trying to build your network and all your connections for not only, next week or next month's challenge, but in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year. And when you're just starting out, you probably have your little close-knit group of friends and family who are going to be interested in what you're doing and want to do what you're doing. But you're going to run out of those people pretty quickly, and you're going to want to be able to connect and be able to keep track of all those connections. And if you are not keeping track of those, it's very easy to forget, 2 or 3 people here and there, and before you know it, you don't have any connections made, and you're not going to have anyone to be inviting to your groups. You're not going to have anyone who's going to want to be following you or anything. So you really need to keep track of that. And you never know, out of all the people you're talking to, who is going to be the one person you're going to be able to help. So don't let the one person you're going to be able to help be the one that you forgot to get back to, right? So since I have started in the past 2 months, I have literally been trying everything I've heard, every way I can think of to track people, and I've just been, what doesn't work, I toss, and if it's working, I keep it. So I'm kind of like Theodore Roosevelt out there trying everything, right? So what I have stuck with and what works well for me for a couple of different reasons is I used Google Streak, and I think that works very well for large amounts of people over a long period of time. And even if you're just starting out with coaching and you don't have oodles and oodles of contacts yet, still start putting them into Google Streak. And if you're not familiar with what Google Streak is, there are lots of good videos and tutorials out there. Eventually, maybe I'll do one myself when I get super familiar with it. But the gist of it is you can set up all these different pipelines of categories of people to keep track of. So for an example, I have a pipeline set up for new conversations. I have a pipeline set up for birthday congratulations, anniversary congratulations. And then I also have pipelines for people I've sent challenge group invites to, free group invites to. So you can set up all these pipelines and you can kind of stage them. And as you're connecting with new people over Instagram or Facebook or even in, real life texting, however you connect with your people, you can be putting them into those pipelines and rifling them through the pipelines so that you can keep track of them. Now that is super great and it's super easy to use, but the thing is, during the week, I am extremely busy. And in the mornings, I am already trying to log into my Beachbody coaching online office. I'm popping into Facebook to make those connections, and I'm trying to get my workout in every morning before work because that is the easiest time to do it, right? So I'm already trying to do all these things before 7 o'clock in the morning. On top of that, I'm a mom. I got my full-time job. I actually am starting to be the 6th grade volleyball coach. I've got about half a dozen hobbies. The point being, I'm busy and I know I am not the only one. So I don't want to add one more thing in the morning, like Google Streak, to check into. So what I do is I call it just my little like visual communication board. I have it posted up on the wall, and it's just a little cork board that I made, and it has, how many columns does it have? It has different columns. And on Sunday, what I do is I line out the people that I'm going to be connecting with that week. So I get a list of the people I'm going to be connecting with that week, and I have a column on my corkboard for new conversations, and I have a column for group invites. And then, sometimes that column is split between free groups or the full challenge groups, whatever groups I have running in the future. So, and what I do is I get Post-its, and I have, one color for all my new invite people, and I line my people out. I put a name on the Post-it and I stick it on my corkboard. That way, in the morning when I'm popping on Facebook, I'm not having to search for, okay, I need to connect with, 5 people today. I need to start 5 new conversations. I need to, send 5 invites. I already have the 5 people picked out that I'm going to be connecting with that week. And I can just do a quick glance at my corkboard. They're right there, pop onto Facebook, check out their timeline, say, oh, I see you went, skiing last week, or, oh, your daughter, it's her birthday, happy birthday to you guys, or whatever you're connecting with people over. it's just really nice to have that quick, short-term visual way to keep track of what you're doing that week on top of the Google Streak. Like I said, the Google Streak is really good for large amounts of people over an extended period of time. But during the week, I kind of don't like to have to be checking into that and updating that. I like to just have my quick visual, at a glance look of who I'm going to be connecting with, who I am supposed to be inviting, and it works really well. I have tried other things in the past, and I actually still sort of use it. I have a, I think it's called Business 30 business calendar that I downloaded. So if there's someone who has specifically said, who I've invited to my challenge group and has told me, you know what, I just really can't do this month. You know, I have no, just whatever their reason is, I have no time, or, you know, it's not going to be a good month to start. I'm going to be traveling on vacation, or, you know, whatever their ultimate reason is why they said, no, I can't do it right now, but I definitely want you to follow up with me. I pop their name into my Business 30 calendar as a reminder to get with them. And it just gives me a little notification. That's something that I can't do through Google Streak or my little corkboard, right? Because they're not set to a calendar. Maybe you can set it to a calendar. If you can, I'm not sure how, but I'll figure it out. But that is another thing that I do just to give myself that little reminder, because there's always going to be somebody who tells you to follow up with them for sure, but you know, they just aren't, they're not ready to commit to you right now. So those are the few little ways that I track everyone. I don't think I have notes here, sorry. I ramble, so I had to make notes. Oh, I guess on my corkboard I forgot one of the columns. I have a yep and a nope column. So if they're yeps and you're gonna be, or yeses, not yeps, they're gonna be in the yep column, and you're gonna be talking to them about getting set up for their challenge group and scheduling their first calls and all that type of stuff. And if they're in the nope column, I actually also add them to my Business 30 calendar, you know, 6 weeks down the road or something, to kind of check back in with and, you know, do a future invite or follow up. So that is actually the ways I have stuck with tracking my people. I've tried, you know, just writing them down in the notebooks, but I'm kind of an organizer, which is, if I told my husband that, he would laugh at me, but I actually really am. With things I care about. I tried writing people down in notebooks, and it got too unorganized for me. I actually started writing people's names on note cards. So after I have sent them an invite, I take a note card and I have a little index card holder that I keep all my people alphabetized in. So, you know, if I'm gonna reconnect with them later, it's a quick lookup, and I can see, I keep little notes on what we've talked about previously, how they like to be contacted, you know, just little notes about them to keep in mind for future. Because, you know, when you're talking to 10 people a day or 20 people a day or even 5 people a day, if you've got other things going on, that's going to get tricky to keep track of, especially if these are people you haven't necessarily met in real life. So that's what I've been doing. Instead of keeping a notebook of people, I keep little note cards with little notes and tidbits about them and how they like to communicate and what they've got going on in their life in my note card book, because it's super easy to look up and it's alphabetized. I think that is about all I have for you guys tonight. Does anyone have any questions? I know I went over that fast.
No, you didn't. I think that was really great information, and we all, including me, need to do a better job of tracking people. And just like you said in the beginning, when you're a new coach, you might not think it's going to get hard or, oh, I can keep track of these people on Facebook Messenger. It becomes a hot mess. You need something, you need to find, and it might be different for you versus Bailey versus me, but you have to find a way that's going to work for you. And it's going to, there might be like a learning curve with Google Streak or whatever you use. You might have to like, you know, put some time into learning it. But once you kind of get it down, it's going to make your life like 10 times easier. So this is one of those things where you treat your business like a business. Like if you had a legit like storefront business, like you're not just going to like, I don't know, order things and not keep track of it or have customers and not keep their information. Like that's kind of bonkers, right? So why are we kind of treating this like, oh, we'll just kind of like see what happens and go with the flow. Like, you know, treat your business like a business, and find a way that's going to work for you. So really awesome job, Bailey. Anybody have any questions or any way that they like to track that's working for them?
Nope. Doesn't look like it.
I have a quick comment, and with this, you did a great job, Bailey. I'm really proud of you. But with that, like, I think it's important to evolve with this business too. Like maybe you might start out with Google Streak, or you might start out with like how I do mine with notebooks or whatever. But I think that it's important to evolve with the business as you grow, because it's maybe not going to work forever. So I think we always have to keep an open mind into whatever we do and like be prepared to like take the time to learn Google Streak or TeamZ or whatever you use and learn it well, because that's important.
Yes, for sure. Because like I know when I first started out, I was thinking, oh, I can just do this in my notebooks and stuff. And ever since Team Cup, and I've been, you know, talking to so many more people, and I just realized, you know what, I'm going to get so many contacts so fast. I might as well start doing this the best way I can immediately, instead of having to transfer all of my contacts and all of my clients down the road. So yes, I totally agree. And who knows, you know, maybe I'll change this in 3 months, but hopefully this will keep working.
That was a great point, Alicia, that you made. And evolving as a coach, I think, can go across the board with everything we do. And I've been hearing, you know, a lot about this month. It's August. People are like on vacation. And if something's not working for you, like if you're legit saying, I'm doing the 4 vital behaviors, then maybe it's time you need to evolve. Maybe it's time that you need to invite a different way. Maybe you need to like work on your Facebook like page, which I'm finally doing after 4.5 years. Yes, it took me that long. Maybe you need to evolve and start learning Instagram. Maybe you need to evolve and start doing a different type of personal development. Maybe the rah-rah motivation stuff is easy to read, but maybe you need to do more like Tony Robbins mindset, you know, like really changing the way you think and not just kind of like pumping yourself up. Kim, I love that book, Un-F Yourself. I have like 5 million books open that I'm reading all at once. Go figure. But I really like that, Alicia. So way to put that out there. Anybody else with comments or questions? Ashley, what do you? One question, Bailey, with Kim asked, is the Business 30 app on your phone?
Yes, it is. You can, like, if we have a Surface Pro and I'm about to toss it on that too, so, and it'll sync up. So it is on my phone. And that's why I like it, because I can carry it around with me everywhere, because I do this, you know, I'm on the go all the time. And if I need to pop a little note in there, it's right with me on my phone. So I do a lot from my phone.
Cool. And Ashley, what do you mean, what am I doing with Facebook? And can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. You said you were updating your Facebook or something. I missed that.
I am working on my like page.
Okay. Like a
Yeah, so
business page.
4.5 years I've ran my business on my personal page.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on my like page and learning ads and like just I haven't even posted on my business page for like 2 years. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm doing training, working on that type of stuff. Like I got the personal stuff down, so I'm kind of evolving
Gotcha.
and working on that. Anybody else? Comments, questions?
I just wanted to say thank you, Bailey, for this because everything goes back between my jobs. I'm full-time in like a sales position and I have so many clients and customers. I literally told my boss, I was like, I think I'm going to lose my mind trying to keep track of everybody. So thank you for both of this. It kind of integrates them both.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad people got something out of it.
And the note card things is what like my upline Bob Lucido, or all of our upline Bob Lucido, he used to do like old school like note cards and kind of like in the index Rolodex, and he would have it almost like by month. So like for August, he'd have all the people that he reached out to, and then like I think if he needed to follow up with them, then he would move them to September or something. I think that's a great way if you need it to be, like in your hand and not just like digital.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good one. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for showing up. I'll be waking up at 5:30 in the morning for Power Hour. So hope to see some faces tomorrow morning. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Bailey.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night.